fun fact, I was so tired earlier that I had the brain capacity of an idiot who couldn't find their way out of a cardboard box if they were led there. So that's fun. And what led me to this conclusion, sorry, something on the camera, was the fact that someone posted about it finally being the burr months, and I was like, it's not that cold yet, because my brain was not computing. It took me 3 hours to realize they were talking about the fact that September, October, November, December. So yeah, that's been my life today. 3 hours. 3 hours before it finally clicked. And I was just like, oh, I'm an idiot. Don't look at me in that tone of voice, Pixel. Yeah, you better lay down. So those two are there. This one just laid down there after, following me to the bathroom because he had to get off the bed to find out where I was going and what I was doing and why. How dare I actually, do things without him. And then old man Goblin, who hurt himself getting in and out of this bed, so we moved it out from where it was so that he wouldn't use it, keeps purposely coming in here and using it. Oh well. At least he likes it. At least he's comfy. Hey Dragonlings. It is Tuesday, September 3rd? I think it's the 3rd. 3rd? I think that's correct. I have finished and filming, editing, and uploading one of the videos from this multi-part series of videos talking about all the projects that I want to write or have written and all that fun jazz. And I have filmed the second one, but I need to edit it still. I'm not 100% happy with how it turned out, but I'm done filming it because I've filmed some of the clips multiple times and I'm just no longer in the headspace to film, basically. So I'm going to be taking a break from that. I do need to I need to spin my spinning wheel to see what project I'm going to work on at work tonight, because I don't want to be working on anything YouTube related since I've spent all morning. See, my husband and my kids left around 5 o'clock, so by 5:30 I was working, and it's now noon. So 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 6.5 hours with a couple of breaks here and there for food, bathroom, letting dogs in and out, and stuff like that. But yeah, I've been working off and on for 6 hours, and that's plenty of time on YouTube. So I'm done with that. I've done other things in the meantime, but that's been like the bulk of my morning. And I do have work tonight, so I need to go ahead and wrap up for the day. So I'm going to spin the spinning wheel, and it's going to tell me what project I'm going to work on tonight at work. And yeah, that's basically how I'm going to do things from now on, is that during the day when I'm still at home, I'm going to spin my wheel and see what project I'm going to work on at work, so I can just go ahead and get started on it during my breaks. So anyways, I'll check in before I leave to see if I get any more edit on this video, because I kind of do want to edit the video I already filmed and get it uploaded and ready for next week, because the one I filmed and edited and uploaded today was for tomorrow. And I kind of want to be ahead. I want to film 2 or 3 videos at a time and edit and upload them. So this week is actually going to be about getting as many of those videos filmed, edited, and uploaded as I can. And hopefully I can get some major work done on them, but I'm not holding my breath because it is taking so long. A lot of that's on me because I keep refilming parts, and I just need to film and be done with them. But I am in perfectionist mode, and it's probably going to cause problems later because I am spending too much time doing things instead of just calling it done and good enough. But someday I'll get there. At least they're all scripted. All the videos for this particular series are scripted. I'm actually working on scripting other videos. And if I lie in bed and it turns out I can't sleep, I'll have my tablet nearby so I can go ahead and script some more if I want to. That way I can get ahead. I do have all my videos for the rest of this year basically planned out as far as the video videos, but I will also be doing vlogs and stuff like that. So it's going to be a very busy rest of the year. At least very busy September. So as much work as I can get done now. I wish I'd gotten more work done yesterday during Labor Day, but it just didn't happen. And that's okay. I did other things, like I colored my hair on Labor Day, so I can't complain too much. It's just not what I wanted to do, but technically speaking, I colored my hair twice. We're not gonna get into that. So yeah, that's where we stand, and that's what we're working on. So I'm also watching YouTube as I, like, in between stuff, like when I'm waiting for Google to download all my video clips and stuff, and my playlist started at like 60 plus videos, and now I'm at 58 because I remove them as I finish them. So lots of videos to watch tonight when I'm at work, but that's neither here nor there. So yeah, all right, I'm gonna go take a nap. I'm actually starting to get tired. Probably from working in front of a computer for like 6 hours now, but time for a break. A real break. Hey Dragonlings, I just wanted to do a quick update before I actually get to work. I am currently stocking my closet, making sure everything is where it belongs, but let's go for a ride. I can't keep you here and do what I need to do. So, yesterday, that'll work. Yesterday, motherfucker moth. I need to get a fly swatter for in here. Yesterday I worked on a short story because that's what the wheel told me to do. And the short story I'm currently working on is called A Buck Short. It's about a young woman who is from a long line of witches, and basically what happens is they all come into their power, they get a familiar, and that's how they know they're a witch. And everyone in her family, every woman in her family has been a witch since like the dawn of time. And they're actually a very powerful coven of witches. However, she has absolutely no magic. And she is not upset by this. However, her family is extremely upset that she doesn't have magic. And so they're trying everything they can to basically test her. Like, her mom's gone as far as adopting random stray cats and bringing them home to see if that will be her familiar. Because, of course, you getting your familiar is the first sign that you are a witch. So this woman is having that happen, dealing with that. And her mom is getting particularly rambunctious about it. Like, her antics are getting worse and worse because in her mind, in her mom's mind, her daughter, this is her oldest daughter, her daughter was, there's a moth in here, it's gonna piss me off. Her daughter was the one that's going to take over the coven when she passes it on. And without magic, obviously, she can't do that. So that's why her mom is extremely upset about this whole ordeal and trying her hardest to prove that she has magic. Daughter is not upset by not having magic. She has learned to live her life without magic. She is okay with it. However, her mom pulls a stunt that is basically the worst of the worst kind of thing. And in doing so, she ruins the normalcy of her daughter's life too. And what I mean by that is, like, it ruins her career. And like, daughter had just gotten dream job and was doing really good for herself in the normal sense, and doing what she does. Her mom basically puts a curse on her daughter so that she will never have a job in the same field again. And like I said, this was daughter's dream job, so this is a big ordeal. She has ruined her daughter's life, basically, just to prove that her daughter has magic. And it didn't work. So that's what the short story was supposed to be about. And in a way, it still is that way. However, there was another factor in the fact that we were going to discover that the daughter does in fact have magic. It's just taken, like, younger sister, her magic showed up when she was 5, and older sister is now in her 30s. Still has no magic. I haven't decided what the age of the actual character is. I have 2 extra rolls. Where am I going to put them? I'm going to go right here. And it's going to just have to work. Empty box. But, so mom has been trying to prove that daughter has magic, oldest daughter has magic, and it has ruined daughter's life, basically. And we were going to find out that daughter does, in fact, have magic. It just isn't the same kind of magic, and her familiar is not a cat. Her familiar is a deer, hence the name, a buck short. But with the way the story is going now, I have introduced a male love interest, and I haven't decided if the cat familiars are just straight up cats. And I'm still debating in my mind whether I want the love interest to just be a human or if I want them to be a shifter, and that is the deer. Like, her familiar is like a fated mate's, this is my partner, he enhances my magic, he is the reason I even have magic kind of thing. I haven't decided which direction I'm going to go with it because I didn't plan for it that way at all. Like, literally it was just going to be straight up, she has a deer for a familiar. And there was no love story. But now that I've introduced the love interest, I really like the love interest, and I'm just like, can I do this? Part of me wants to. So yeah, that's where I'm stuck right now, but this is the story I'm handwriting, and I wrote 13 plus pages. Editing Skye will put a number here telling you how many pages I hand wrote yesterday during my lunch break. My lunch break and my 2 15-minute breaks, to tell you how much I actually got written. And then I wrote some during the day too, because I had actually spun the wheel earlier in the day, so that when I had some ideas, I was just like, right. And I did. Today, not so much. Today I spent a lot of time sleeping. So, nothing got done. Not at home, at least. Excuse me. But I'm really, because I'm excited on where the story is going, I'm really hoping to get some more work done on it. That being said, as far as my writing process goes with short stories, I don't do any planning. Like, I don't do any planning. I usually know, like, the inciting incident, the beginning, that basically sparks the whole story. In this case, it's the mom doing the spell that basically backfires and curses. It kind of sort of goes along with the rule of 3, do unto others what you will unto you kind of thing. In the fact that you don't fuck around with people's lives, you don't fuck around with other people's strings of fate, you don't fuck around with other people's destiny, and if you do, you ultimately are going to pass a curse onto them, and that's what her mom has done. So that was the inciting incident, and in my head, the end goal is that she is going to end up with a familiar. It's just not going to be the way everyone thought, and she is going to, because of everything her mom had done, she is going to be like, we are not family anymore, fuck off, kind of thing. Like, it's about the fact of found family versus blood family, and what is that breaking point? Like, when do you break off for family? Because she and her family, while her family annoys her, they have been really close in the past. But that is a major big no-no. You fucked around with her life. You essentially ruined her life. And now she has to start all over again from scratch. And it's not even going to be something that she was really passionate about doing in the first place. So it's about finding your way in a new life. It's about where that breaking point is with family. Like, what is the line? Where do you finally say, I've had enough of your bullshit, fuck off, never talk to me again kind of thing, and then found family and all that fun jazz. As always, this short story is trying to become a novella, trying to become a novel, trying to become a fucking series. So I'm gonna have to tamper that down, but it's been a lot of fun to write. Like, I am actually enjoying this story. I really enjoy writing it. I enjoy the characters. Like, they're amusing me greatly. But I was listening to a vlog earlier, right before I started filming this clip, actually. And it was from Megan. And I don't remember, I think it's Megan Bush. I think that's her last name. I'll link the direct writing vlog. But at one point, she talked about the fact that she's on book 2 of her story. And she doesn't know if the way she's writing the character, if, like, readers are going to... Like, she's afraid readers are going to hate him. And I'm like... My readers are probably going to hate my character, too. Because she's a fucking bitch. Like, I understand exactly why she's a bitch, but man, she's being so hateful to the love interest. Because she thinks everything that her mom just did is fresh in her mind, and the love interest has just appeared in her life. And it's one of those right person, wrong time kind of things. Like, she is going through turmoil because it has just happened when she meets this guy. And not only has she just beat this guy, she thinks this guy works with her mom, so it's like double whammy. And so, like, she's treating him like shit. And I understand it, but at the same time, I'm like, bitch, can you stop? Can we not? I understand why you're doing this, but can you be a little nicer? He does not deserve this much vitriol. Oh my god. But yes, I am loving the story. I'm loving where it's going, and I actually cannot wait to get back to working on it tonight. And my original plan was to spin my wheel every day this week and work on a different project every day, but I am going back to this project. And if I can keep it in short story form, I might even finish it this week if I continue working on it daily. However, I'm just going to work on it until I'm like, meh, don't feel like working on it, spin the wheel again. So at least for tonight, I'm going to work on it again during my lunch break, but we'll see how that works. I keep looking up here expecting like that's where my camera is when it's actually down there. Sorry. You know, I don't know what to tell you. I did see one of these cool vlogging gadgets. I was watching a video talking about, like, I love watching videos where people talk about their setups and what they use, like, equipment-wise to film, because I'm like, oh, man, that picture is so crisp. Oh, the sound is so awesome. Like, and I want to know what people are using to get their videos the way they do, so I love those kind of videos. Let me know if you do, too, just because I am nosy and I want to know. And I saw a vlogging camera I've seen in a couple different videos now that I'm like, oh, I want that. And this particular person included a link to the direct one they were using. I was like, ooh, let me go check it out. See if I can find something that's at least similar. Holy shit. The vlogging camera is $700. I can't even have $700 for the camera I really do want because I'm just filming with my phone and there is a vlogging camera that I want with a viewfinder. Like, I want that camera. And I don't have the money for that camera. There's no fucking way I have money for a vlogging camera that's like on a little teeny handheld tripod that can either sit on the counter like this one my phone is doing right now, only it can sit by itself, or I can be held in my hand as I travel along, and it's got one of the gimbal, I think it's called a gimbal, where it follows you around so you don't have to like worry about all that jazz. This camera is like $150 more than the actual vlogging camera that I want, and I'm like, holy shit, what in the world, people? But I'm not gonna lie, I want that camera. I want it. I want it so bad for vlogging because I'm so tired. Since I use my phone for all of my like vlogging and video experiences, and I am struggling to like separate clips. And yes, I know naming them works, but at the same time, I have to actually watch a little bit of the clip and be like, oh, this is what this clip was for. And maybe there's a way, like at the beginning of the clip, before I actually start talking to people, I'll be like, this is for the vlog. This is for a video. This is for this particular video if you're doing multiple videos at one time. Maybe I can do something like that. If you guys film both videos and vlogs and all the other things, let me know how you guys work your different clips if you use the same camera for both. Doesn't matter what kind of camera you use. I'm just curious how you do it. Do you like have this little beginning section before you even start talking where you're like, editing Skye, this is for a vlog. Just so you know. That way there's no complications later. Editing Skye, this is for this such and such video. This is for the one where you're going to talk about your pen names that uploaded yesterday as of this recording. God, don't ask me why I did that. Oh god, no, don't do that again, Skye. Ugh. Anyways, alright, I'm going to go get to work. I am done stocking my closet with everything I needed to do. My cart's set up. I'm ready to go. So it's time to actually quit filming and get some fucking work done. That way I can do more writing during my break. Okay, so I'm on my lunch break, and I wanted to go ahead and let you know how many pages I wrote yesterday. So give me a second while I count. Sorry, this is a little awkward. I don't have anything to set you on where you're gonna be high enough. Everything you'll be like too low. So I gotta hold you. All right, a lot of pages written yesterday. So 1, 2, 3. Okay, 17 times 2 is 34? 34 things, so 35 and a half. So 35 and a half pages yesterday. I count each page, like front is 1 and back is 1. So like that's, each front and back is 2. So 35 and a half pages is what I think I wrote, yes. So that's a lot. That's a lot of handwriting. Let me hold up. This is what I wrote yesterday, hand wrote. And it's a lot, but I ended on a half page, and I do like to kind of keep like how much I write separate. So what I'm going to do moving forward is that every day, every new day I write, I'm going to put it on a new page. Like I'm going to start on a new page. That way when I'm going back and counting how many words I wrote per day, it's not all like jumbled together and I have to figure out where I stopped versus where I started. So even though it's the same story, same scene, everything going on, I'm going to start it on a new page. So rather than continuing on this page with writing on it, I'm going to start on this page with no writing. And I had to turn it sideways to show you. I don't have enough hands for this. I'm sorry, guys. But that is the plan. I'm going to go ahead and start my timer for my lunch break. I am not hungry, so I'm not going to eat right now. Maybe I will eat during one of my 15 minutes breaks. That's usually what I do. My first 15-minute break, I usually eat. And I did stop and have like a quick snack. But now I'm not hungry, so I might not eat lunch today. I might have to save my lunch for tomorrow. I'm going to do some writing. See how much I can get done tonight. It's not going to be nearly as much because I did write during the day a lot yesterday. Whereas I'm just writing on my breaks today. But we'll see how much I get done. I'm off work. And I'm sitting at my desk. Fun fact. I wrote more pages at work during my lunch break and during my other break. And I, not only did I write more pages, I realized that I'm writing my pages out of order. The scenes out of order. I started with what I knew as far as like the story goes, but when I actually go back and type this up, I have a completely different order for the scenes to go in, and I have a different structure for the scenes because it will be organized by chapter because we're switching between two different POVs. What I decided to do tonight was write from the love interest point of view. There we go. I was like, it feels like it's got pop, but it won't. And Chester's down here saying hi. She says, I want attention. But, so one of the other things I did during my break today was that I wrote out kind of like in sentence form what scenes I think needed to happen in the story, whether I need to write them still or they were ones that are already written and I just need to change the order of it when I actually go to type this up. And I think I know the progression of the story. And in that earlier clip, I mentioned that I hated how this girl was treating this guy because she was treating him like absolute dog shit for something he really didn't have any control over. Like the fact that he was there with her mom when she discovered what her mom did and the fact that she believes that he was in on it and that he's one of her mom's associates is not wholeheartedly wrong. And he has been like pretty quiet except for some stuff here and there in their interactions on her side. However, when we got into his point of view and I started writing that last night, I wanted to know more why he would take this kind of bullshit. And why he would allow her to treat him this way, because she is kind of half ignoring him, half treating him like shit. Like she's accusing him of things that he has not necessarily done. She has no proof that he did it, only because he and her mom were associated together. And I wanted to know why he would put up with that. And as I was writing his POV, I realized that he also has a kind of curse placed on him in almost a very similar fashion. Like someone was trying to help him, and by helping him, they screwed over his life. And now he's living with this curse. So he knows exactly how she feels. And the reason he's putting up with this is because he's basically giving her time to let all of it out. He realizes they just met one another. They're in a position where she has gone through this thing that's really traumatic for her, and she is in the moment living it, whereas he's had years to process what happened to him. And he still remembers, it still hurts him to this day, what happened back then. And so he's allowing her to basically vent, even though it's taking it out on him. And she's not being physical. It's more just her accusing him of things that aren't necessarily true, and he's not defending himself. It's more her ignoring him. They're in close proximity together, but like she's not speaking directly to him. Like if there's someone else there before them, she's speaking to that person, and if he overhears, but she's not speaking directly to him. Like there are times she is speaking directly to him, but like for the most part, she's like, when she looks at him, she's like, that's the fucker that my mom's trying to set me up with. My mom wants me to date this guy. My mom just fucked over my life. Fuck him. And I don't mean in the fun, sexy time way. So like, that's, and I was able to dive into why he was allowing her to treat him that way. Why he was not really putting up a fight and defending himself, because he's not really. He's just kind of going along with it. He's helping where he knows he can. He's lending an ear in his own unobtrusive way, because he realizes that he is in a position that is fucked up because of what she just went through and why she thinks he is there. And she's not exactly wrong. Like, her mom was trying to set her up with him. Like, her mom was trying to keep the bloodlines pure. And this was the guy she had chosen as her potential partner for the future to keep the bloodlines pure. So he knows she's not exactly wrong in her accusations, but she's not exactly correct in her accusations either. But he knows that most of her accusations are coming from this place of hurt. And so he's just going along with it now. Once she calms down, he'll be like, okay, now you listen here, girly. This is what's going on. And I was able to, with being able to dive into that portion of him as a character, it actually allowed me to back up and see more of her as a character, which was kind of cool. And I like that back and forth. They're kind of, I won't go as far as to say they're opposites of each other, but now they have that one event in both of their lives that kind of mirrors each other. And I think that's going to be what ends up bringing them together. It sounds so bad, because it is like the worst thing ever. But shared trauma is fun trauma, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, I'm loving the way this story is going. And I'm still hoping, because I'm handwriting it, and I do tend to write pretty large, even on college ruled paper, which is why I try to write on, because of the fact that it forces me to write smaller. I don't know how many words I've written so far. I've just been counting pages. And I think in the past, I've written on a particular page, like front side or back side, but not both together. I've written anywhere from 50 to 250 words per page, just because of how I write, and dialogue, because I tend to do a lot more dialogue than description or anything when I handwrite, because it's faster, easier, and I'm like, I can put stuff in between later when I type all this up. I can expand upon this later when this is all typed up. But, so I don't know how many words it is, but I'm still hoping that in the long run this will remain a short story. I'm trying really hard not to let it become a novel or even a novella. I don't even want it to become a novella. I just want it to be a fucking short story. What I'm going to do with that short story, I don't know. The whole point is to kind of practice my craft and just get back in the habit of writing short stories. But the next feat for me will be to figure out, because I think I am almost finished with this first draft of this short story. The next thing will be to figure out, take a look at some of my story ideas that I have and see if any of them could potentially become the next short story that I work on. Because I don't really, I want to continue handwriting stuff, but I don't want to handwrite novels. I don't want to handwrite novellas. I want to stick with short stories. But I have a particular idea. I have, starting next year, I have a particular idea I want to hit up. But for now, I want to just stick with plot bunnies that I know I have listed on my Notion that could possibly become story ideas. Like, they're all story seeds. And I want to use those to kind of practice short stories with. Like this particular short story, Buck Short. So that's the goal. We'll see what happens though. So I do want to start kind of getting an idea of the next short story I want to put in my handwriting project, insert in as of my handwriting. Words are not wording today. I want to kind of get an idea of the next prompt, basically, of what will be the next handwriting story, but I'm not quite there yet. I think if I continue working on this short story, I will finish it by the end of the week. I think I will finish this by Saturday night before I live stream. if I continue working on it the way I have been. Just because it is flowing, it is going well, and I'm loving the way the story goes. That being said, because I'm so close to finishing it, I do want to start thinking about the next story idea. That way, if when I spin the wheel again, if it lands on handwriting again, I can just I don't know what's going on with her. I can continue just with the next short story without like having to go I don't know what I want to write, and then not work on anything. So like I want to prepare myself for the next project basically before I get done with this one. That was a long way of saying that. I don't know why it took me so long to get there. Brain not braining. It's the end of my night. I'm going to go to bed soon. I need to stay awake for another 30 minutes at least, because otherwise I'll be waking up halfway through my night, and I just don't want that. So at least 30 more minutes. I am going to do my daily card draws. So I did a short last month as part of Vita talking about how I'm doing these. I think it was a short, maybe it was a video. But anyways, so this month I am using the Guardian of the Night Tarot card deck. This was a gift from a friend. I wanted this deck so bad because they got it for me. It was on my wish list, and I just thought it looked cool. I loved what I thought was going to be the concept art. The artwork does not look like this. And that makes me a little sad. Like, is it pretty? Yes. And God, I love the backs of them. They're super pretty. But like, these cards are pretty. Don't get me wrong. But they have, some of them have more of a grunge feel. This is that one. Like, I love this. The death card is one of my favorite cards. Every tarot deck I get, the death card is one of the first ones I look at because it is always my favorite card. And then the cards that represent me are the Hermit and the Moon. So those are the next two I look at. But like, there's almost a kind of, especially with one like this, there's almost kind of a grunge feeling to them. And I can't explain it because I don't really know how to articulate. I'm not an artsy person, so I don't know how to articulate it. Like, they are pretty. Don't get me wrong. But I just, there's something about them. There's something about the art style that I wanted these so badly. That's why they were on my wish list. And I'm so thankful for my friend for getting them for me. But I hate them. I hate them so much. However, I couldn't figure out what deck I wanted to use for this month for my card draws. So I sent a video saying, here's all the cards I got, to a couple of my friends. And it was really funny because I was like, oh, I'm going to get like 3 different answers. I ended up getting 2 answers that were the same. And I was like, oh, okay, that's not what I expected. But that's what won, was this deck. So yeah, that's the deck I'm using for September. And I think what I'm going to do for the next 30 minutes before it's time for me to go to bed is go ahead and do my card drawings for the day. I'm not doing the Therapets this month. I am just doing the Animal Spirit card. The Spirit Animal card. Oracle card. I do want to get that other deck. God, I want that other deck so bad. Anyways, that's what I'm going to do. And then I'm going to maybe possibly do a couple more pages of handwriting. Maybe, just because I've got ideas that I want to like flesh out. And then I'll go to bed. So I just made a realization, and it might change some things as far as like what I'm using this deck for. So I have written actually 5 days in a row now this month, and I just made the connection that I've written 4 days, not today. I haven't written today. I just made the connection that the cards I was drawing matched what I ended up writing that night. And it made me think back. Usually when I get a brand new deck, I do a tarot deck interview where I do a 3-card draw that tells me what I'm supposed to use the deck for. And now I'm starting to wonder if I was actually supposed to use this deck as like a story tool. And I can't remember where I wrote down, if I did a tarot deck interview for this, where I wrote that down. So let me see if I can find it, because if I have that, I might be using this deck wrong, which means my daily tarot reading has been like fucked up because it's been related to writing, not my real life, which would actually in some ways would be kind of cool because today's card wasn't very nice. But the other thing it could mean is that I've been giving myself hints on what's supposed to happen next in the story without even realizing it. Which, so far, like, looking back at the cards I've drawn and then what I wrote that day is exactly right. So, like, that's on par. But now I want to know if that's actually what this deck was supposed to be used for, story ideas, because otherwise today's cards is kind of scary. I was right. I forgot that I had done an initial tarot deck reading with this deck. And then I sent that deck interview with images to the person who had gifted it to me to show, hey, I'm using it. And this is exactly what I typed to them. It's for creative times. It's to remind myself that I need to focus on what I have and what I'm doing versus someone else, and that sometimes the choices I think are the only ones available might not be. This deck could be used to see other paths and options I may be blind to because I'm too focused on other things. So, I'm using this deck wrong. It is not supposed to be for my daily tarot readings into my own goddamn life. This one is supposed to be used for story decisions, which means every card that I have drawn the past 4 days makes absolute fucking sense now. Because literally my drawings daily, my daily, like, journaling has been like, I have no idea what this card is for. I have no idea what this card is for. I have no idea what this card is for. I have no idea what this card is for. Like, I've been trying to figure it out, and I've been like, maybe this is going to be for, but it's been like kind of a stretch kind of thing. But the past 4 days, I drew like 9 of Pentacles, which means abundance, luxury, self-sufficiency, financial independence, rewards for efforts. And I was literally brainstorming the fact that the reason that, like, the fact that this my main character was just offered a promotion, like, and it was going to be, she has been financially independent. She has been able to do, like, these luxuries. She lives on her own. She lives in her own place. Like, it matches. And then the next day was Wheel of Fortune, which that is my most hated card. I absolutely hate that card. But, like, it means fate, completion, good fortune, a turning point, gambling, reaping rewards, sinking, and cycle. And, like, literally, her life was doing a 180. I was talking about the fact that the reason I hate the card is that every time I draw that card for myself, something fucking goes wrong in my life. Like, something terrible goes wrong in my life, and I absolutely hate it. And that's exactly what happened to her. Like, that day I was, like, that was when I first started writing the story, and, like, that was her having problems, like, discovering that her mom fucked over her life. Third card, 9 of Cups. Wish fulfillment, obtaining goals, satisfied, allowed to be smug, being content, sensual pleasure, savoring, luxury, relaxing, indulging in love. This was when I first started introducing love interest. Her mom had just gotten her wish, basically. The ritual had been completed. Yes, it fucked over her life, but her mom gets her wish. So, like, again, it's stretching it a little bit, but it could be compared to it. And then yesterday's card was the 6 of Cups, revisiting the past, childhood memories and dreams, innocence, joy, goodwill. I had to kind of read my own language because I my own handwriting because I didn't connect that G correctly. Anyways, appreciating small joy. I think that's supposed to be joy. Joys. Yes, joys. My pen wasn't working correctly. Playing, carefree, having a baby. Last night I was writing from his perspective. We were looking back on some of his memories and the fact that he has gone through what she has gone through. And, like, he can't be mad about the fact that she's upset because of the fact that he remembers being just as upset. Like, so, like, it all makes sense now. The cards I've been drawing makes absolute sense. And I need to make note of that on today's card because of the fact that today I drew the 7 of Swords, which, let's see if I still have it, is this card. And it means lies, trickery, scheming, theft, running away, shady business deals, deceiving or being deceived, two-faced, staying aloof, sabotage, and jealousy. And I think that's what we're going to, like, that's actually the route I was trying. That was, seeing that card, I was like, damn, that matches what I was going with as far as, like, the story, the next scene I wanted to write. Like, and that was what made me think about the fact that I was like, hold on. And I look back at the past previous cards and I'm like, oh, they all match. So, like, I'm using the wrong fucking deck for my fucking life. That's all there is to it. Jaco, there they are. I see a couple bobbing their heads. There's turkeys over there. The wild turkeys are in our backyard. They got babes. I don't know if you can see any of them, but yeah, the wild turkeys are in our backyard.
I need to run them out of the backyard before they go into the actual yard.
I don't think they can go in the actual yard because of the dog fence. There they are. Look at the wild turkeys, they're in their backyard. They've never been this close to the house before. That's really weird.
Yeah.
And that's cool too, because that means they feel safe here to bring their babes here. I'm not going to get any closer because I don't want to accidentally run them into the backyard, the fence. That's cool.
I don't know how they're going to get out of the yard unless they come back this direction.
Well, turkeys can fly a little bit, so they can fly over the fence technically.
Hopefully they don't decide to fly over the actual fence right there and go.
Yeah, like I said, I'm not going to get any closer because I don't want to.
Yeah, they're all in that corner.
They're congregating in the corner. Today will probably be the final day I actually do some writing on this project. For this week at least, because I'm trying not to write on the weekends. Saturday, whatever I do on my live stream varies. I do want to wrap up this vlog by Saturday before the live stream, maybe after the live stream. I think I'll end it after the live stream. And on Sunday, I want to edit it and upload it. I would like to edit it before then, but I actually took a lot more clips this week than I thought I would, so fun story. I was going somewhere with this. I had like an intention when I actually started the camera to film a vlog clip, but I don't remember what that intention was, so all train of thought derailed. As soon as I turned off the camera, I figured out what I was going to talk about. I spent last night, I wrote my pages, and I also figured out the next short story. I've got a couple different ideas that I could do for the next short story. So in my Plot Bunnies log, I have one that's about a snake shifter where they a woman working at a convenience store sees a snake and saves it from the owner who's going to like kill it, and she takes it outside, and then turn around and it turns out the snake is a snake shifter, and he turns back into a man and goes back in to thank her, and sees her getting abused by the owner for abandoning her station by saving the snake and taking the snake outside. So he in turn saves her from a shitty convenience store owner. Anyways, so I've got that one. I also have an idea that is based off a dream I had like a couple of nights ago, where this woman is running. Her magic is kind of D&D based in a way. She has wild magic. She cannot control it, and it just happens randomly. And she has these runes that are on her arm. She doesn't know where these runes came from. She doesn't know how long they've been there, but basically she can tell when she's about to have like an explosion of magic, because her runes that are on her arms start lighting up starting at her palms. She's got them on her palms and fingers too. They're kind of, I haven't decided if it's going to be tattoos or scarification. And I have used a character in the past with a short story that I never finished. And it was a sci-fi story, and I was just like, this is not my thing. But that character had scarification, and I'm not glorifying scarification. And if you don't know what scarification is, I'm not going to go into detail because that trigger warning, basically. However, I do think Drax is a character with scarification, honestly. I think. Hold on, now I gotta look up Drax from Guardians of the Galaxy. I think his name is Drax the Destroyer. I think he's a perfect example of scarification. Yes. Okay, so Drax is technically a perfect example of scarification. You know how all of his markings on him look like they're old scars? It looks like they're in a design and a pattern. I think in Drax's case, I don't know much about what he is his culture and stuff like that. So I don't know if that's like a cultural thing, or I don't know what it is. I don't care. That's not the point. I was just using that as like so you can have a visual representation in your mind of what it is. Nightcrawler is actually the first thing I think about when I think of scarification, because in the X-Men movies that they introduced Nightcrawler, by the way, my favorite character ever. Besides Gambit. Gambit and Rogue are number one, tied number one, and then Nightcrawler is number two. Anyway, so Nightcrawler in the X-Men movies is a perfect example of scarification, because honestly, when I made the D&D character that has scarification, he was exactly what I was picturing, because she is a tiefling, she is blue, she has scarification, like it all tied together. Okay, anyways, so all of that to say, I don't know if the runes are tattoos or if they're scarification. They weren't clear in my mind in the dream. I just know that they're on her fingers, they're on her hands, like, and they go up her arms all the way and across her shoulders and connect like across her shoulders to the other arm and hand. And basically what happens is when she's about to have a magic explosion, she kind of has a hint about it, because starting at her fingers, the runes will start to glow, and it will start off slow, like kind of like the engine revving as it picks up speed from 0 to 60. Like it starts off slow and then speeds up, and all of them light up until they meet at the back of her neck. Because basically the way it goes is they go across her shoulder, and then there's one central one at the base of her neck. That's how it looked in my head. And basically they light up until that one at the base of her neck, and that's when the explosion of magic happens. And the way hers works is that there's literally like in D&D terms, you might know what I'm talking about when I say thunder wave. That's exactly how it works. It's basically a sonic boom, and everything is knocked over around her within like a certain radius. And I don't know what that radius is off the top of my head. She was actually in the dream. She was in the middle of a crowded street and had that sonic boom happen, and basically shattered windows and knocked people over that were chasing her and tried to capture her. Don't know what that was about. But yeah, that's story number 2 I could work on. And then story number 3 is Snake Shifter, Rune Girly. There was another story idea. I was telling Amy about a story idea that I had about a girl or person. I haven't decided the gender of the person. They might be non-binary, actually. I don't know. I don't fucking know. Anyways, I was telling Amy about this idea I had for a character who's never part of the supernatural world. They are always on the outskirts of it. You know how when you're looking at stuff, you see something out of your peripheral vision, but you didn't see it. I want to know the story of that person. Like, why do they keep constantly seeing stuff, but they don't like ever interact with it? It's like one of those people that goes, you don't see that, it wasn't there was just the wind. And they keep constantly denying it. And I don't want them pulled in, because obviously the Fae are not trying to reveal themselves in the first place. So I want to tell the story of that particular person, but at the same time, I think it'll be fucking boring, because in my mind, what makes those kind of stories interesting is the fact that that person does get pulled out of the ordinary. They do get pulled into this fantasy world. They are dragged into shit that they probably have no business dealing with. And like, in my mind, this particular character doesn't do that. Like, they don't get dragged into this stuff. They are fervently of the mind that they don't see what they think they see. They don't see eyes glowing in the middle of the darkness. And I don't know how that story could be interesting. I don't know what could be interesting. Like, it interests me because I'm like, how do you live your life and not go exploring that shit? But at the same time, like, I don't think that would be interesting to anyone else. Because my dumb ass would be like, oh, what was that? And I go after it. And this particular person is like, you see something flitting by them, and they're just like, nope, didn't see that. Mm-mm. And they just continue on with their life. So, like, I don't know how to make a story like that interesting without, like, them getting dragged into this world. And in my mind, I'm like, that doesn't happen to this person. This person is boring. So, I don't know how to make that interesting. So, I don't know. Those are my 3 story ideas, though. So, Snake Shifter, dual saving, Rune Girl with explosions, and I did not see what I think I just saw. I refuse to believe I saw what I just saw, kind of thing. So those are the possible short story ideas, and I will probably just like roll a die or something in order to figure out. Hey there, so I'm going to wrap up this vlog here. Jenna is doing sprints on her channel currently for Double Down Day, and I am just kind of hanging out and finishing this vlog, honestly, while I am basically finishing out the week. I do have a lot of things I want to do today that are both writing and non-writing related stuff, so that's why I wanted to go ahead and wrap this up today. Because one of the things on my list is to kind of reorganize this library a little bit. It's getting a little cluttered with various things. It's become a dumping ground for things, and it's time to clean it up. I also want to, that empty shelf there, I want to get books back on it. We took them off because the roof was leaking and it was dripping down onto that shelf. That towel is still there from when it was dripping down onto the shelf, and books were getting damaged, so we had to pull all the books off. Anyways, so one of the things I want to do today is that, but I'm pretty certain I'm not really going to get much writing done today, so I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up here. If I do get any more writing done today, I will put that on the next vlog. Total today, on Friday, I got 14 pages written, which means that Tuesday I wrote 35.5, Wednesday I wrote 10.75, Thursday I wrote 6, and Friday I wrote 14, for a total of 66.25 pages, 66 and a quarter pages. If you calculate, I know in the past when I've handwritten stuff in a notebook, due to the kind of notebooks I use, the size I write, stuff like that, I can get anywhere from 50 to 300 words on a page. So most of the time I can get about 200 words per page. So I went ahead and calculated about what my word count might be based on a 200 word page. And if all of these pages are about 200 words, I wrote 13,250 words, which is really cool. Like, I love that. Now, that is not actually what I wrote. It is just an estimate of what I wrote. One of the things I talked about in this vlog was the fact that I am writing scenes out of order, because when I started the story, it was going a completely different direction than it ended up going in the long run. So when I go to type it up, I'm going to have a lot of fun deciphering what scenes are supposed to go in what order and stuff like that. But that's a future Skye problem. That's not a today Skye problem. It has been a lot of fun getting back into handwriting. I do want to continue doing that. I mentioned in an earlier clip, I have 3 ideas that I possibly could do for the next short story. If any of those ideas sound interesting to you, feel free to drop that in the comments. The first one being the snake shifter, where they save each other kind of thing. The second one being the girl with runes across her arms and shoulders that kind of makes explosions happen. And then the third one being the person who keeps seeing like magical things and beings but isn't seeing them. I actually did have someone tell me some ideas with that one. We were like shooting ideas back and forth about that one, and I have actually more ideas of how that story could be interesting. So if any of those 3 ideas sound interesting to you, let me know in the comments, because that might be the next short story I handwrite when I finish this one, because I am almost done with this one. Not gonna lie, I was hoping I would finish it last night, but I didn't, and that's okay. My plan is not to work on it next week, because next week I do want to focus more on Puck's Choice, because according to my countdown app, I have 86 days in order to finish Puck's Choice before it gets published. And I still haven't gotten a final page count to my cover designer so that she can design the back cover for me. I don't even know if I have a blurb for it yet, honestly, because I haven't really checked in with that project lately. So yeah, I have a story being published December 3rd. That's its date, and I am not ready to publish it yet. So it's time to get cracking on that, which means next week, all week, that is my project that I'm working on. Is I want to work on that and get as much done on that as possible. But that is going to be all for this week's vlog. If you like these videos, go ahead and drop a like and leave a comment on what story idea you think I should handwrite next, because I do want to continue doing short stories handwriting wise. And yeah, if you like these kind of vlogs and you're not subscribed to my channel, go ahead and click subscribe, and I'm going to try to post these once a week and kind of keep them concise. At the beginning of this week, I was talking about the fact that I was going to try to spin the wheel every day and do a different project every day. But I think what I'm going to do instead is each week is going to focus on one project until I finish that project or can't work on it anymore. So like this week, I spun the wheel and I got the handwriting project, which was the short story that I'm working on called A Buck Short. And then next week I'll be working on Puck's Choice all week, unless I finish everything I can with that one and still have more to the week. So yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do moving forward is I will concentrate on a new project every week rather than every day. And since I'm doing weekly vlogs, that actually does make the most sense. So anyways, that is all I have for you guys today, and I will see you all in my next video or vlog or live stream. So bye, Dragonlings.